Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the
Meine Beine. Meine Beine. Ich kann meine Beine nicht mehr spüren. Ich muss ganz sterben. So will ich nicht weiterleben. Ich kann meine rechte...
Oh no, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me.
Ich kann meine rechte Gesichtshälfte nicht mehr spüren.
Why are you doing this?
Ich bin auf mein Gesicht gefallen. Meine Nase steckt im Ohr. Ich muss dem Leben ein Ende bereiten. Ich kann nicht mehr. Ich sehe Zähne. Zähne stecken in meinem Auge. Mein Arm schlurrt hinterher. Wer will denn so überleben? Wer will so überleben? Also ich nicht. Diese Schmerzen. Ja, ich glaube, ich habe mein Kinn da unten vergessen. Mein Kinn liegt da noch. Du gehst jetzt pennen? Okay. Ich gehe jetzt sterben. Ich sterbe jetzt. Auf Wiedersehen.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Nein, ich spring jetzt.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me.
Es hat keinen Sinn ohne mein Mod. Ohne mein Mod hat das keinen Sinn. Es hat keinen Sinn ohne mein Mod.
Maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Es tut mir leid, aber ohne mein Mod kann ich dieses Spiel nicht spielen, also muss ich jetzt sterben.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Gute Nacht. Obwohl es gerade mal 20 nach 11 ist. Ja, warum ist da unten so ein Balken?
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Memo. Piep. Piep. Wer hat denn dieses Input-Ding eigentlich? Irgendwo müssen wir ja auch inputten. Irgendwo müssen wir inputten.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors. This was not the direct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Natürlich gehe ich recht.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this
Es gibt noch so viele Wege, die wir laufen müssen. So unendlich viele Wege. Wir müssen zum Beispiel da noch geradeaus. Wir müssen noch durch die blaue Tür. Wir müssen noch noch so vieles machen. Okay, hier nicht. Das war wahrscheinlich die linke Tür. Ah, jetzt haben wir beide rein. Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he
Da
might
oben
find
ist
an
der.
answer there.
So, die Besenkammer.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Wir müssen noch auf On drücken. Auf On. Ah. Piep.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed
Mach auf die Tür.
with some
Uff.
calming new age music.
Mach auf. Heavily.
Feeling soothed
Hey.
and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into
Wollte
the
gerade
old
singen.
passageway.
Hey. Müssen wir denn unbedingt darunter? Geht's keinen anderen Weg? Gibt es denn keinen anderen Weg? Leider nein. Hallo? Hallo?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control
Nein, wir
Facility.
gehen wieder hier lang. Also erstmal, bis er sagt, wir sollen
Passageway had the
uns
word
umdrehen.
escape written on it. The truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Ich gehe ja weiter.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on
Ja,
track.
okay. Dann gehen wir zurück. Computer sagt nein.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Piep.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Dum, 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 dum. Piep.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Aus.
Each bore the number
Aus.
of an employee in the building,
Aus.
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Gleich drücken wir auf den dicken, fetten On-Knopf.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Gibt's hier 600 verschiedene Geschichten? Ey, manche wiederholen sich auch. Dieses rote da war auch da vorne gerade. Muss ich wirklich gehen? Guck mal, 97 und 98 haben ein Schwarzbild. Dum, dum. Na gut.
No, He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls.
Ich glaube, wir müssen erstmal auf On drücken, damit das hier weitergeht. Auf den dicken, fetten On-Knopf. System, Power, On.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Doch.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Ja.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk.
Wir brauchen einen lilanen Knopf mit einer 2 drauf.
Where we're going. What all this means. I barely know.
Da muss er lila überhaupt sein, nee, ne?
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
Ich hab doch die 2 gedrückt.
Additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't.
Ah, da sind übrigens die 3.
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose is?
Ja, Gedankenkontrolle.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene. I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine.
Was soll ich da machen?
Destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice.
Hier geht gleich alles in die Luft.
Or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Ciao. Nein.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Hey, wen nannte ihn? Oh, jetzt. Ja, das war doch mein Büro. Dann war ich das mit dem Computer bald durch. Den Computer da 50 Mal anklicken.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible.
Sandy hier, Sandy hier. So, jetzt gehen wir erstmal da oben hin.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the...
Bevor wir gleich die blaue Tür gehen.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Hat gewartet. Oh.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Hallo? Wer ist denn da? Hallo?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Hallo?
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Ja, warum denn
What happened to their
nicht?
life to you? I'm trying to make a
Ich bin auch
point here, Stanley.
kuschelbedürftig.
I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Nö, ich gehe nicht.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Alter, das hat mich jetzt wirklich verjagt.
This is a very
wo ist das
sad
Brot?
story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Guten Morgen, Angestellter. Drücke 8 auf deiner Tastatur. 7.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Drücke 0. Ich drücke 0. Ach, oh.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's
Für
told
mich sieht das
to
aus wie
do.
eine Null.
Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Ich drücke V.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Ich drücke I.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Ich erzähle den Kindern erstmal eine Geschichte.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Drücke K. Um deiner Frau zu sagen, dass du sie liebst. Ich liebe dich.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Drücke 1, um schlafen zu gehen. Ich gehe schlafen.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Ja, ich drücke trotzdem.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Ich drücke O.
I suppose I
Oder
can't.
0.
Not in the
Diesmal
way
war
I
es eine
wanted
0.
to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Bin gestorben.